Welcome back to the booth. My next guest is Brian Jepson, Senior Editor at O'Reilly Media. Did we get that right? Senior Editor?
You got it right.
Okay.
Senior Citizen Editor.
That's right. So for the uninitiated, what is the Open Accessory Development Kit?
The Open Accessory Development Kit is essentially a way for you to connect Android devices to the physical world. Now, it's funny to do that because anybody who's familiar with Android is going to think, well, I've already got a motion sensor in the device. I've got a light sensor. I've got a number of sensors, GPS, that are built into the device. But there's a lot of other things that aren't baked into the device, and especially when you try to extend far out into your physical world. When Robert Stevens gave his keynote yesterday, he said one example he gave was connecting your pool sensor up to your garage door opener. Now, if you wanted to do that from an Android device, you would need some kind of physical interface between the Android device and the real world, and that's where the Accessory Development Kit comes in. You can think of it as a breakout board for your Arduino, for your Android, which gives you the ability to connect wires to all sorts of sensors and actuators like lights and motors. It's based on open source hardware project called Arduino, and it's very easy to program on both the Android and the Arduino side, and you can create phones that really get involved with your world.
Why is it a big deal? I mean, is it because it's uniting the Android ecosystem with the Arduino ecosystem?
Well, I would say, yeah, it's a big deal for that reason. To me, it's a big deal to Google because they're early on. I think it was the Nexus 1 before they announced it. Somebody there referred to it as a laboratory in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
So they're executing on a vision about. I have friends who kick me under the table. I hope you're not one of them. Every time I use the phrase Internet of Things, because, well, they have a lot of concerns. It ignores people. It ignores. Well, anyways, I use the word Internet of Things. It allows Android devices to fully participate in the Internet of Things. It means that we can have smart devices everywhere, and we can just keep making them smarter and augment them with the phone.
Now, are there applications out yet for the 80K? Is there anything that you've seen that's really caught your attention?
Well, I have seen a few things, but I want to see more.
Yeah.
I want people to do cool things with this, and if I know you are doing it, I know they're out there doing it. I'd love them to. We take submissions at blog.makezine.com. If you have an awesome project, submit it and tell us about it. If you have a project you want to tell the world about, go to makeprojects.com and post it there and tell us how you did it. But I really like some of the stuff that Philip Lindsay's been doing. He created two things that I think he was on earlier talking about that maybe, or he's on stage certainly.
Yeah, he's on stage.
And he has one is called Handbag, which is an Android app that asks the Arduino what buttons it should present on the screen. So you actually don't have to write any Android code. You just write Arduino code, and then it pops up a user interface. He's also done a really cool hack where you can connect an external LCD screen to the Arduino, and the Arduino plugs into the Android phone, and while you're playing Angry Birds, your text messages show up on the external screen, and it shows you the time, too. So I think those projects are great, but I want to see more, because Philip can't do all the work himself.
So last question for you. Android's made inroads with NFC as well. Where do you see NFC going?
Well, so NFC, near field communication, the big poster child for that everybody talks about is payment systems.
Sure, mobile payment.
Go swipe my card.
Right.
I actually think it's a faster alternative to QR codes, because with a QR code you got to hold the thing up to the image. You got to get the light right. With a NFC tag, if you have an RFID tag embedded in a poster for a movie, you just whack it and move on, and people can just read it faster. So. Exchanging short bursts of information. Yeah. I want to tell you something that I can say in 128 bytes. Well, it's perfect. It's much better than QR codes for that kind of thing.
Interesting. It reduces the friction.
I agree,
it takes a couple steps out of it.
Yes, I think so.
Well, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Real pleasure to be here. Thanks.